Hello and welcome to the R Silent Podcast. I am your host, Evan with the Silent R, and I am a life skills coach. And on this podcast, we educate you through conversation and storytelling. I've asked my friends to come on the show today. I hope you guys are excited. And we're going to do some quick introductions. I'm going to start with myself first, and then we're going to get our guests to introduce themselves to the show. So my name is Evan with the Silent R. I am 30 years old. I am from Ghana. Well, my parents are from Ghana. And what I do for a living is I am a talent acquisition specialist and part-time podcast host. And my current relationship status is married. All right, the next person.
Thank you very much, Evan, for having me on the show. My name is Soez. I'm a Canadian-born Middle Eastern. Both my parents are from Afghanistan. I am an assistant manager for a grocery store chain called Superstore. My current status for relationship is single.
And how old are you?
I am now 28 years old.
28. Got it. Okay.
Okay, my name is Andy. Thanks, Evan, again for having me again here. 28 years old, assistant manager at Enterprise, born here, parents from Dominican, both my parents. And I'm currently in a relationship.
Great. That's it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, go ahead.
My name is Chris. I'm a student at George Brown, and I study finance and accounting. I also work as at a hotel at the Fairmont Royal York. My age is 24. My background is that my parents are from Ghana.
And he is my little brother. So welcome to the show, little brother. Thank you for joining us. So on today's show, we're going to be bringing out our question box. And in this question box, we've created a few questions for the guys to answer. So how the show is going to run is I'm going to pick out the first question, and then Swayze, I'm going to get you to pick out the next question, and then Andy, and then Chris, and so on and so forth until that box is empty. Or we're going to see how much questions we can get through within a 45-minute time frame.
Okay. Is it random?
It is random questions, so I'm going to randomly pick from the box. It has no structure. So it could be spicy questions, it could be lifestyle questions, relationship questions, or employment questions.
Okay.
I hope you guys are ready. We're going to go ahead with our first question of the night, okay?
Oh, my.
Let me just close my eyes and shuffle through here. I'm losing some questions here. All right. We've got our first question. All right. Does it bother you if your girlfriend has male friends?
Spicy question first.
Okay, I'll start first, and then we'll go
ahead.
Swayze, Andy, and then Chris. All right? So does it bother me if my girlfriend has male friends? Well, I'm married now, so it can work a little bit different for me, I think. But personally, even when I was dating my wife, I was not comfortable with her having male friends. Personally, she had actually too many male friends when I had first met her, and I did not like that. So, when I came into her life, she had to give up all those guys, because I was not going to have my partner have such close male friends. I just was not comfortable with it. And do I think women and men can be friends in relationships? I think to a certain degree they can, but it can be a little bit difficult because, I feel as though feelings do come into play sometimes, and it can make it really, really difficult for you to be friends with.
I mean, I agree 100%. To have platonic relationships, it's a very rare case, right? You can't really just think that men and women can be friends equally, because you bring it down to a science, biological. What does a male want? What does a female want, right? It comes down to a basic science. A male wants a female wants a male. No matter how much you can stress it, no matter how much you can stretch it, right? At the end of the day, if given an opportunity, the male would jump at any chance to have any sexual relation.
I stand with you on that one. So yes, as well, I don't like when my girl would have multiple male friends.
For sure.
Because at the end of the day, I may trust her. I don't trust the guy. Because you know what I mean? I always, I know.
You know how guys think.
We know how guys think.
I know exactly how it was when I was single too. It's like when my girlfriends send me something when I was single.
Jeez.
Yeah, so
you already knew what it was.
Yeah, of course. I trust my girl. I don't trust the guys.
No, I hear that. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same thing. I trust my girl. I don't trust the guys.
Yeah.
Because we all know how they, we think.
Yeah.
I find that guys always know how other guys
100%.
think, but girls don't
They don't.
They
get
don't
it.
agree
don't
with
realize,
us when
you know?
we say we know how guys think. So it makes it really, really difficult because when you have a girl and she's like, "What do you mean? I should be able to have guy friends."
They don't
Like,
want to believe it's true.
you know,
Sticky.
They don't-
but
they
we
don't know
as
hidden
guys, we
motives,
always
too.
know, because guys always have hidden motives. Like a
motives.
guy will be friends with a girl for years and wait for that
That
opportunity.
one moment, that one
before-
opportunity.
before
he
they get a
messed up?
chance.
I'm
as
there.
soon as they break up with their
Yeah.
man, they're the first man
To
trying
jump
sleep
on
with
it.
your girl,
I wouldn't
you
do
know?
that to you.
Oh man, crazy. But that was good. That was good. Thank you guys for sharing your opinion. We're gonna go ahead with the next question. I hope you guys are ready. All right. So, what did your parents teach you about relationships? That was the next question. What did your parents teach you about relationships? So I'll go ahead and start. What my parents teach me about relationships? Well, right now my parents are currently divorced. I feel as though my parents had a really great marriage in the beginning. My father was more of a quieter guy. My mom was more of the dominant person in the relationship. You can tell that right off the bat. I think for all my brothers, we were all really scared of my mother, But even when they fought, my parents always slept in the same bed together, And
Yeah.
although my father and my mother never stayed together till forever, because that is the true success of a marriage, is if the two people actually make it till forever, to the end of days. So for my parents, I think that they had a great relationship when things were good, but a lot of things happened in between time that really brought them further apart versus closer together. So I learned from them that being patient and being more of the dominant in the relationship versus the submissive, as a man, I think really creates a different dynamic that my parents didn't have. That I feel as though created a lot of more challenges that they had in their marriage that I think would have been worked out a lot more better if they had more time to work out the correct dynamics within their
exactly.
relationship together versus, my mother always being the one who directs everything that happens in our life and my father just being a yes man.
Yeah.
I think that was really difficult for me to see growing up because that's the kind of things that I was bringing into my relationships with girls and it was never working for me. I never realized that, when you're in a relationship with a girl, you need to be the one who's in control and making the decisions. And I always grew up in a family life where my mother made all the decisions. My mother did everything in the house, made sure we had clothes, made sure we had food, and my father was just present. And I appreciated my father being present, but I would have liked him to have shown us a little bit more when we were growing up how to be men in relationships and show us by example how to be. So I learned a lot from them, and I try my best to be in a marriage that lasts forever.
Yeah.
And I want to do that differently than what they did.
Yeah.
Very true.
Quick question for you,
Yeah.
if you don't mind me asking.
Go for it.
Did how old are you when they got separated? Were you guys older or younger?
I think I was about 23 years old.
Damn,
Chris, you were
okay.
like 16, I think, at the time.
Yeah, I was like 16.
16,
so
yeah.
you are more grown, so I guess
More
it's not
mature,
like
yeah.
if you were
Yeah,
like
but
10
you know
It hit him
what? It did
differently, though.
affect me, though.
For sure.
I'm
It
not
still
gonna-
does.
I'm
I'm not gonna lie.
100%.
It,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
affected me.
Yeah,
I
but-
didn't like that my family was broken up like
Yeah,
that.
I get it.
Yeah.
No, I hear that.
I definitely think it's a little bit different if you're younger versus if you're a little bit more
Mature, more
Yeah, because I
developed.
didn't need my father anymore, So
You were
it
the
was
man
easier
now.
to
It's a little
let
bit
it go.
easier,
But
yeah.
I was still disappointed because ever since the day they got divorced, my family has never been the same.
It's
We've
100%.
all been separated.
It's
We've
broken
all been
family.
doing our own thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the family life has changed.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Alright,
one more
so
time
yes.
the question.
Yeah, so the question was, what did your parents teach you about
Relationships,
relationships?
So me especially growing up in a household where you come from a very traditional family, right? So they come from back home, Middle East, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Iran, Pakistan, all those countries back home. It's different, right? You were kind of forced into an arranged marriage from what your parents perceive.
Your parents were arranged?
Yeah, they were arranged.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
but it comes down to the last name, right? Like royalty. So your last name holds weight back home in your country. It's different customs, different traditions, right? You don't bring it over here, but your parents are from there, so obviously that's their background, right? So my parents used to teach me as a kid. Like I've seen it all, fam. Like I've seen the love, I've seen the hate, I've seen the fight, the animosity, the threats, and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I've been living through all of that, right? But what my mom used to tell me growing up, she's like, no matter what you guys go through, you're gonna learn love. You are gonna learn it. It's not about you meet somebody, right? They're physically attractive. Oh, they check mark all the boxes. Oh, he's attractive. He does this. He does that, and blah blah blah. Right? That's all superficial. You see that shit instantly. You know what I'm saying? But you're not gonna see that the more you go down the road with them, right? So my mom used to tell me, she's like, don't worry about all that. That comes and it goes. With time, all that shit fades, right? They're gonna show their true self as you guys grow together. So what she used to tell me, she's like, don't even worry about that. Marry who you want to marry, be who you want to be with, but just learn to love them.
That's deep.
Right? Because going through life is educational. You guys are going to learn from each other day in and day out, right? Every day is going to be a challenge. Every day is going to be different. Every day is going to be new to you guys. And that's what holds a bond together. That is what holds a family together. Because if you guys are not going to accept that there are going to be changes in your relationship as you grow together, then why are you in that relationship to begin with? You know what I'm saying? It's an educational process. Life teaches you as you grow together. So that is the thing that I took away from my family. You learn to love,
Wow.
no matter what.
Wow. That was good. That was good.
Wow.
Thanks for sharing.
No problem.
Go ahead, Andy.
So I come from Christian household. So both my parents, always preach I have two brothers, preach all three of us get married, have a stable home, that type of thing, don't get divorced.
Yeah.
So I guess even from the beginning it was kind of instilled to us, like, you want to get married once, stay together, not get broken up, you don't want to have that like
one.
you said, the broken family, right? So definitely it was kind of instilled that, obviously my parents not perfect, no marriage is perfect.
Yeah.
So obviously you see the fights and whatever, but it was kind of taught to me and my brothers that you want to stay together. You don't want to get together
Separate.
to break up. Yeah, exactly. Because it breaks up the family and makes, leaves that hole.
Messy situation. Very
like,
messy.
Yeah. So definitely it was kind of instilled to us, like, you want to find a good Christian woman, get married from a young age. It was kind of like, taught to us. And that definitely taught me a lot about, I guess, the importance of marriage and how it's like something you can't really take lightly. So it's something that I always thought about. It's like not a decision that you can just make, like, in a snap.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, at this age, I consider a lot of different things, because it's like, if I'm thinking I don't want to get married, get divorced, it's like, you got to really pick and choose, every single, am I willing to fight with this person and make up every single time? So if you know that you can make those constant, you can have those fights and get back to
battles
whether
go through,
exactly those
Yeah,
battles with the person.
That's how you know if your relationship's truly meant to last.
Yeah,
If you
exactly.
can go through
So
those
make or
fights,
break
and
Fights,
still,
yeah.
And still
still
love
make
each
it
other.
through the next day.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
love each other. Still choose to
Yeah.
love
Oh,
each other.
for
you
sure,
know?
for sure.
I think about that all the time, because it's like, if you fight with a person and you're just kind of like, I don't want to deal with this. It's kind of just like, you don't really know. But it's like, you fight with them, it's kind of like, I kind of still want to work it out, because, like, you know what that person's worth. It makes a
Yeah.
huge difference.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Wow. You ready, Chris?
Yeah. One thing I appreciate about my parents, that they stayed together for a really long time. So when they separated when I was 16, I said, fine, that's okay. Like, I'm not bothered. You do what you want, because we're already, like, doing things on our own,
Yeah.
right? But as far as, like, what my mom's words were, or my dad's words were about relationships, they never really taught us,
Yeah.
And it's funny, because now that my mom sees that I'm in a relationship, she wants to tell me how to be a traditional man. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to be, like,
Yeah.
or at least more on the traditional side. But I'm in a relationship, and I appreciate my girl, because she knows that we gotta work together, right? And
How long have you been in your relationship?
I've been in a relationship for 4 years.
4 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats on that.
Yeah. But another thing that I appreciate and I noticed about my mom was that even though, like, she told us that they weren't getting along for a very long time, like like during I don't know, last time she told me there was like a 5-year span of them just not getting along with each other,
Yeah.
right? I always seen her every day at like 7 o'clock. My dad will come home and she'd make his meal, right?
Even though they weren't good.
Even though they weren't good, all the time making a meal. Like I think that was very really like a wife of hers. She really
For sure.
showed, like her qualities in a wife.
Yeah.
And another thing I wanted to point out is that one day I seen my dad run downstairs and play with my mom and kiss her on the forehead while she's sleeping. Right? So I think it's like when you're in a marriage, people tend to get, I guess, lazy
Get lost.
Comfortable.
or comfortable,
big-
right?
yeah.
But then they forget about the attention, the romance, the doing for each other.
That's so valuable.
Right?
Yeah.
And it just becomes a deep hole that you can't really get out of because there's so much resentment. So, so what I've learned from them was that like, even though there might be hard times, right? You always want to keep, as I said, the romance,
The love.
doing for each other,
Yeah,
right?
for
Because that's real love right there.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
100%.
So before we move on to the next question, I just want to quickly go around. When do you want to get married? You said you're 28,
Yeah, I'm 28.
28.
28.
24.
24, yeah.
When do you want to get married?
It's crazy because, yo, to be honest, if you were to ask me this question like 10 years ago, I was like, yo, by 26, I'm married.
married.
You know, by
Yeah.
27, I have my house.
Yo,
28, I have at
for
least
real.
a child, car, crib, blah,
Everybody
blah,
thought
blah,
that.
you know? But, yo, life takes you over so quickly in a blink of an eye that you can't even grasp it.
Wow.
And you can't even comprehend. Yo, what was I envisioning when I was younger right now? Where was I supposed to be right now?
Jeez.
If I were to show myself, you know, my younger self right now, where I was right now, would he be proud? Would he look at me and say, yo, this is what I thought of. This is what I wanted you to be. Am I happy with what you are?
Wow.
Not necessarily, right? But you can't even hold blame on that. You gotta hold situations. What happened in that time frame? What changed? You know what I'm saying? What did you go through where you couldn't be where you wanted to be? You know what I'm saying? What events made you progress to the situation that you're dealing with right now? Why are you in this position? How come you didn't get what you wanted? Right? This is life. Nothing's planned. Nothing goes through as the way you
Yeah.
plan it.
100%.
Right? But if you were to ask me what is the ripe age to get married, I would have said like 26, 27 because that is a prime time where you can have a couple of years with your wife or your man, whoever you're talking to, right? Either you're female or male. You have those prime years, 26, 27, couple of years to, you know, just go around the world, have a couple of vacations, couple of trips, couple of times together, you know what I'm saying? Kind of just appreciate you guys together and how it works, right? And then when you guys understand how you two work together, by the age of 28, 29, bomb. Have a
But
baby.
I do want to hear Andy's perspective before we challenge that. Go ahead, Andy.
Man, it's tough because I think around that age, like 28, 29, you're probably more mentally prepared.
Yeah.
Definitely.
sure.
Like, I think we can all agree before 25 is probably, especially as a man, you're probably not ready.
Not really, no.
Yeah.
I would think that's why.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
You would not
yeah.
be ready. Yeah.
Because,
yeah.
like, for example, right now, I think mentally I am prepared. But,
Emotionally, physically.
I mean, honestly, I would say around this age for me, just because like I kind of have that mentality to begin with.
True.
So I kind of already have that mentality where like I want to settle down, have
Yeah,
a family.
of
Because like for example, for me, I wanna have kids, right? That's always been like something in me.
Yeah.
And I know
it's exciting.
seeing, I've seen all types of relationships in the sense like I've
Yeah.
seen the single moms, I've
Yeah.
seen the single
Single
dads, I've
dad.
seen I've seen married, I've seen
Divorce.
I've seen divorce.
Everything.
I've seen kids. I've seen like a relationship and have kids, but not within a marriage, and it's
Yeah.
different.
Oh, 100%.
Even though,
Different.
yeah, even though they're committed and
Yeah.
we have kids together, whatever, it's not the same. And even the kids know it, like
They feel it.
Yeah, psychologically, I don't know what it is, but they kind of feel it's different when
Understand,
it's
yeah.
like, oh, that's my wife, that's my husband. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I've always like I used to work with kids and I seen the difference, right? That's kind of how I kind of get my experience from. And I definitely know that within a marriage is definitely the best thing to have kids. So that's kind of why I would say for me, me personally, I would say around this age or so
28.
Okay, so you're
Around-
you're in an age where you feel like you're getting ready to
to
settle down.
Yeah, There's still, I feel still there's still a lot of maybe little boxes I need
Yeah,
to check
for sure,
off,
for sure,
or
for sure.
maybe
Like your
people I
own-
need to talk
As
to. because-
everyone
space,
does,
yeah.
100%.
If I'm being
100%.
honest, lately I've been talking to too many people that tell me don't get married. You know what I mean?
No, I think it's a thing
It's
right now
crazy.
where they
It's-
tell
it's
men
actually
like it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
to get
Yeah,
married,
I've heard it so many times.
From
man,
an
and
investment standpoint, right now, it's tough.
I've heard it from the money side.
It's
the,
on-
the
on all sides,
everything.
on
the
all
money
sides,
side,
emotional,
everything.
physical,
Yeah.
financial,
Cheating, all of
everything.
that.
mental, all that
Yeah.
shit. It's
Yeah,
rough. It's
yeah,
rough
yeah.
right now.
Yeah, but
And
let's
it's like, and it
let's
kind of
also hear
sucks
Chris'
because it
perspective.
clashes.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Yeah, so the question was, what age are you trying to get married? How, like, what time? When are you planning to get married?
Around the age of 28 to 30.
28 to
I'd
30.
hope so, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still have that belief, you know?
I mean, you've been with your girl for 4 years.
I mean, it's
It's a
about
little
time.
different.
Some
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. It's a
Some
little
time, brother. It's
different.
some
You
time.
know? But I'm not telling you you're gonna go pop the question right
Yeah.
now. if
Nah,
you're
nah,
not
nah,
ready.
but, like, whenever you're ready.
You're
when
24,
I'm
right?
ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 24.
You're
He's
24.
still
Okay, so
young.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Still a
4
lot
years
left
away.
to-
If he's saying
I
28.
lie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a lot
you
of
know
time.
what? If you're with your girl in 4 years in the future, I would say
yeah.
that's a pretty.
I would
good
say it's a
time.
great time.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And, I say this to say because I want to have kids
When you're
young, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Yeah.
I
for
don't want to
sure.
have it 40 or 35.
No, too much.
And then, right, I want to be able to see my grandkids for
Yeah.
more than 10
Exactly.
years at least, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel you on that,
yeah.
fam.
I just, that's my main reason. Like, I
I
want
hear that. I hear
children,
that.
Mm-hmm.
but to be young and youthful while I have these children, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Like, look at it from my dad's perspective. He's like reaching 90. You know
Oh,
what I'm
wow.
saying? Yeah,
Your dad?
fam. My parents had me when they were in their 60s, fam.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, brother. Close to 60s. You know what I'm
That's so
saying?
much
Like,
different.
You know how lucky that is,
Bro,
Do you
it's-
know that that's like a miracle?
It's a miracle
Yeah.
baby, fam. It's a miracle baby.
miracle.
No,
Yeah, it's a
100%. 100%.
Wow.
And look at my dad now. He's dying for a grandchild. He's been dying for a grandchild for 30 years. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, he's
Dying
probably
for a
harassing you
grandchild.
at this point.
Yeah.
So, like,
I think he just got one, right?
thank God, yeah, my sister is giving birth
okay,
in
okay.
about 3 weeks max, you know. So
Okay, congrats.
he's happy.
That's good,
Thank you, I
that's good.
appreciate you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's very happy about that. He's happy that he could live through that, where he can have, you know, he can see his descendants, his grandchildren,
That's it,
right?
yeah.
And that's the whole point of being a parent.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
You wanna educate your offsprings to, you know, traverse this life and find somebody where they can, you know, be with and give them their offsprings, and you want to see that. Right?
Yeah.
You want to be around that. That is basically your goal, to set them and them up together, right? So that, like, my dad seeing that is mud. And look at me, bro. I'm 28, and I'm the youngest of my family, right?
Sorry, how
So,
many siblings you have?
3 now, 3. So my sister and my 2 older brothers.
You're the youngest.
I'm the youngest, and I'm 28.
Yeah.
So look at it from my dad's perspective. He's like, yo, I've been looking for this grandchild for
Oh,
years
man,
now.
I can only imagine.
For years.
Shaking.
You know what I'm saying? Shaking and baking, fam. You know what I'm saying? Mud. So for him to see that is like a blessing in him.
Yeah.
And him at his age, he's old, fam. He's an old guy. You know?
Jeez.
Yeah.
So to see that is a blessing on him.
All right, we're gonna go in with another question. You guys ready?
Been ready, brother.
All right, here we go. So, how do you feel about PDA? So, if you don't know what PDA is, that is
Yeah.
public displays of affection.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be honest, you know, in my relationship with my partner, I'm usually the one who's more into doing the PDA than she is.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not the kind of guy who just decides, like, you know, I'm gonna go make up with my girl in the
course.
corner of the mall just so
Yeah,
people
yeah,
can
yeah,
watch
yeah.
me make out. Like, I don't like when people are watching.
Of course.
us.
Yeah,
It's awkward.
that's
So if it's like a
weird.
big crowd, maybe not.
Different.
But like,
Yeah.
I do like to show her affection and
That she's
attention
yours.
Yeah.
when
yeah.
we're out and about,
Yeah.
because then she feels special. you
Of
know?
course.
So I'll typically do that, even though she's not really keen on doing that herself. So yeah. What about you, Swayze?
Personally, I love PDA, but it definitely comes with a degree, with an extent. It depends on who you're with, you know what I'm saying, who you're around. Is it a full crowd? Is it a less crowd, right? I don't like to, per se, go into the full makeout mode, right? A 1-2 peck, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give a little 1-2 kiss, you know what I'm saying? Say I love you, slap on the ass, bomb, you know what I'm saying? Grab, hug. Cool, no problem. But if Shorty wants to, you know, jump up on me and start like giving me tongue action in front of like the mandem or like my family or like, you know, like
different.
in a park when it's so much people around me, that's different. You can't be doing that, right? It comes with a form of respect. Respect yourself and
100%.
respect me,
Yeah.
right? We do this shit behind closed doors when it's just me and you. Yeah, you know, a little 1-2 in the streets is cool. Yeah, great. I want to show you that I love you. You want to show me that you love me. Great. Give me a peck. Give me a 1-2. We're good. Keep moving.
For sure.
But you can't be jumping up on me and doing all that craziness. That's just a bit too much. It comes down to respect.
What about you,
Yeah.
Andy?
I don't like. I don't really like mind it. You know, like I
Yeah,
kind of
Like receiving
especially-
it or giving it?
Both.
Both,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but for me, it's more so like what when I want to do it. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to feel like I'm being pressured. Like, oh, give
Oh
me.
yeah.
You know what I
that's
mean?
That's different.
Yeah.
That's
Because it feels different. But I don't mind. Like for example, some people don't like holding hands in public. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah.
give me a kiss. Like I'll give you a kiss. Like if I want to. But 100%. Like you were saying, I don't want to be making out in public.
No,
if people
for
are watching
sure.
me. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's
I
weird,
feel
bro.
uncomfortable.
For
Like
sure.
you feel like you're kissing
Oh,
your
eyes
girl
are
and
on
you
you
go
too.
like this.
Yeah.
And someone's watching. Exactly. So yeah, like when the moment presents itself, I don't mind. It. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, like just keep it to like a level. Like I'm okay with holding hands, and little pecks here and there,
Okay.
touch and like giving hugs. But like I'm not really. I don't really like like making out or trying
Yeah.
to pull and tug, and that's
True.
that's a little bit too
Too much for
too
you. yeah.
much.
So
Like,
what if your
public
girl was
thing.
like, like y'all in a public park and she's like, baby, like I just want you to kiss me and hold me. Like, what would you do if she was begging you to do that?
take her somewhere else?
But she, but she
The man
wanted
said
it.
he's gonna
No, but she
take her
wanted
to
it
the
right
room,
there.
fam.
She
He's
wanted
not
it
gonna
right
do
there,
it at
right
the
then.
park.
This is
And
the
it's not
next
about
level.
no, but it's not about like like smashing me right here. It's about like, babe, like just start making out with me right here. Like I just want everyone to know that I'm yours and you're mine. Like how would you feel about that
Nah, that's uncomfortable for me.
for you
Jeez.
personally?
Yeah.
If you want to do that, just I don't know, flirt, right? Grab
Yeah.
my hand and lead me somewhere that like is private.
Okay.
Or, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
if you
True,
tell
true.
me.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll find a place to do it private.
Dope.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Just if you're in public, don't try to come and make out with me.
Make you feel
and let
uncomfortable.
everybody
Facts.
see it because I just feel like it's a little uncomfortable
Yeah, yeah.
for
It's a bit too
people
much
to
for
be
you.
seeing
Yeah,
that.
100%.
It's a little bit too much. For
Yeah,
me.
I know.
Is it
I get
because
that.
people are watching you?
I think that just makes anyone.
That makes
uncomfortable.
anyone
that's,
nervous.
'cause
Yeah,
that's what it means.
Because
like,
even when I'm out at the club and I see like
Cameras
a
on you
man
and
doing
shit,
that,
you know,
like,
like-
or
Yeah.
even if I'm just
Yeah.
out at like a mall or something, and I
Yeah.
see two couples just like eating each other's
Yeah.
face, I'm just like, bro,
I look away.
get a room.
Yeah, like, what are you guys
I look
doing?
away. I'm just
What
like,
are you guys
okay.
doing? What are you guys doing now?
Serious
Yeah.
right
You gotta go and
now,
get a
you
room
know?
still.
Yeah, because I look at it like, yeah, like I get it. We're human.
No,
we
for sure,
get the
you want that
feelings, but
affection.
like you're at that level where you need to get a room at this
For
point.
sure,
Yeah.
for sure. All right, guys, I'm gonna go with another question. Y'all
All
ready?
right, let's
Been
get
ready.
it.
Jeez, these questions have been lit.
Yeah.
Holy.
It's
All
the
right.
drink stuff. Water.
All right, here we go.
Cheers to that, fam.
So, what do you think about living with your partner before
Yes.
marriage?
Oh, boy.
Big question. I love this
That is
question.
a good
Fucking love
question.
this question right here, right now.
Oh man.
I'll go ahead and start first. Wow. Personally, I don't agree with getting like living together before marriage. I've done that before, and it turned out to be a really terrible dynamic for me. So I would definitely say, like, because people always say, you know, you want to live with the person before you marry them, so you know how to cohabitate with them.
True.
Right, but I'm somebody who got married, and I was not living with my partner before we got married. We were, of course, she was sleeping over
Yeah,
and
yeah,
things
yeah,
like that.
of
But we
course.
weren't living together.
True.
Right, so you know that period of time that we took to understand how to live together, that was during our marriage. We're still doing that till this day, you
Mad.
know. But I feel as though more people tend to feel that living together is better, so that they at least can learn that before they decide to get married. But that's not always the best way to go about it, because if you're looking to get married, you're looking to get married. You're not looking
Yeah,
to
yeah,
live
for
with the
sure.
person
Yeah, I
before
know. I
marriage.
see that
Because
too.
let's say the person gets pregnant, right? It creates a whole different dynamic where you're
Yeah.
bringing a baby into the world and you're not married, but you're living together. So when you're living together, you're sleeping in the same bed together
Yeah.
every night. You're seeing them all the time, you know. So the chances of you making a baby are a lot more higher,
Definitely.
right? And it creates a completely different dynamic when you're living with somebody and you're not married, because you're investing this time and energy into somebody where you're paying bills and you're taking care of them, and they're not even like your spouse.
Yeah.
And then when the relationship ends, and I know from experience, you
Yeah.
feel like crap because you spend all this time, energy
Energy,
and money
yeah.
living with this person, paying their bills.
At that point,
because
you're
if you're a
basically
guy and
done.
you're paying bills in the house, you know, 'cause
True.
I know some guys don't do that, but you know, I was one of those guys who were paying bills, you know. So like, if I'm paying bills for a girl, you know,
Yeah.
she better be my wife.
Of course.
you know, I'm not gonna
True.
be doing that for just any girl.
True.
You know, that's special
basically
privileges.
your
Those are husband duties, you
Yeah.
know. So you
Yeah.
don't want to be doing no husband duties when you're just a boyfriend.
That's
you know
true,
what I'm
it's
saying?
different.
So, you know, keep that in mind. But yeah, what do you think, Soy?
I mean, me personally, like, I'm a strong believer in definitely just it's not about living together, it's more about like observing how they act and how they react with the way of your life, right? Because you have your life, they have their life, right? When you guys begin to date, obviously it's, you know, roses and like, you know, pink shades, right? You guys see what you want to see. You want to see like, oh, a lovey-dovey relationship, everything's going to be great and blah blah blah, right? But it's not really that, right? You have your life and they have their life, right? I just want to know that what I'm getting into before I really commit, right? So I want to understand how life's going to be before that I put the ring on your finger and I say those vows.
So
and
you're
then
saying that you would live with
I
someone
would,
before
I
you marry
would.
them.
Me personally, I would want to live with you
I see.
before I put the ring on your finger. Because let's say I invest all this time, right? I invest all this money, thousands and thousands of dollars, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 in this wedding, right? Because nowadays weddings are fucking mad crazy.
Yeah,
Don't
it
get me
is.
wrong. Mad expensive, fam. Mad expensive, right? Let's say I do put down this money that I've been saving up for a house for myself, right? But I found the one. Right, I find a shorty that I'm vibing with, I'm loving. You know what I'm saying? We have our, you know, go-tos. We're having a great time together. Everything's feeling great, right? But that's not how it always seems, right? So I want to know what you are really like before I really commit to you. Really invest all this money, this energy, and this effort into you. Because if you are not what I want you to be, or you are not what you want me to be, and we've been through all this, and we didn't live together, but we invested all this time, this money, this energy, this effort, you know, showing the family this, showing the family that, bringing you here, bringing you there. And in the end, it didn't work out because we had clashing values, because I wanted the dishes done as soon as, you know, food is made, but you wanted to do the dishes after. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Or you wanted the kitchen clean as soon as you got home to the crib. But when I get back to the crib, I want to relax for a bit. I want to shower. I want to chill out, right? We have clashing values.
Yeah.
And that is going to spark arguments because that's my way of life for 10, 15, 20, 25 years. But that was your way of life for 10, 15, 20, 25 years.
Okay.
And now we're clashing. We're arguing all the time about different, you know, values.
But
That's
it's a
gonna
learning
cause-
process.
It is a learning
I have a
process.
question for
you.
But what's your question?
So you're living with the girl,
Yeah.
and then things don't work out, and you gotta kick her out.
Yikes. Yikes.
Do you know how difficult that position
It
is?
is. It is
That's
difficult. It is difficult.
It's a
It is
really
mad
difficult
difficult. It's mad
position to
difficult. It's
be
mad
in.
difficult because.
So
You
why
may-
why wouldn't you wait till you're married to her then, so
But-
that you don't have to make that decision? Hopefully,
But let's say
you don't have
you
to make that
let's say you do wait till you're married, and then you did invest that time and that money, and then in the end you still have to kick her out.
No, but
Then what?
it's a little different
It's
because
different when you're married.
You're gonna be more willing to work things out because it's your wife. It's not.
I
your
understand
girl.
that, but the ick is still gonna be your ick.
Yes, but
Yeah, but you're willing to work with it because
yeah,
it's
you're
your
still,
wife.
I mean,
still gonna
yes.
work with it, right? At least because you know if you're working on it, you're working with it with your wife.
Yeah, it's a little.
Instead of you're doing
True,
work- making
but
the
that's
effort
but
for
see,
a girl.
but that's coming from a man's perspective, right? That's coming from a
Okay,
man's
okay.
perspective. Now look at it from a female perspective.
All right.
Well,
They
we,
can-
we can't speak on the female
Oh.
perspectives.
No, no,
here.
but I wanna hear what he's-
because we're men.
Okay,
so we
no,
can't
true,
speak
true,
on the
true.
females.
But I want to hear. I want to hear what he's
But
gonna
wait,
say.
can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
If she's living with you and you
Yeah.
guys are not married,
Yeah.
are you guys both paying bills?
Oh,
Because I think that's a great question.
I mean, yes.
Right? Are you paying all the bills, or
Are you
going
guys living
50-50?
together, and are
'Cause
you
you're
guys
living together?
Living together. Okay, as a man, right? You have to be providing. That is
Yes.
your main purpose
Yeah.
as a dominant male species, right? You have to provide.
yeah.
So if I'm living with my shorty, with my girl, the love of my life, whatever I call her, baby, bubs, whatever it is, right?
Pops.
She with me, I am gonna do my best, strive my best to provide all 100% of the bills.
So you're
of
gonna
the
provide
house.
for a girl who's not your wife?
I mean, I'm gonna try to.
I would encourage you not to do
it
that, my
depends. It
brother.
depends on how serious we are. It depends on how serious we are.
So how
Obviously-
long into the relationship where you are now living together, where you're comfortable with providing for the
Oh,
woman?
it has to be minimum.
Is it
2 years.
1 year?
No,
2
minimum
years?
2 years. Minimum 2 years. Because
You're with her for 2 years.
Yes.
And then you're gonna move her into your spot, and you're gonna provide for her.
I'm gonna try my best to. Yes.
Okay.
If somebody moves in with me to my spot, that's my crib. That's my spot.
Where you're paying all the bills and you're taking care of
I
it.
am the dog. I am the man, right?
tell you one
Best
thing.
believe it. I'm the man.
You know
no one's
that-
taking that from me.
You know that once someone lives with you for a certain amount of time, they basically become your.
Legally? Yes.
I'm talking about
common law.
legal wise.
It's called
Yeah.
yeah,
common law.
okay,
Law, yeah.
sure. For sure. But at that point, we can
So you
kind of
can't
discuss.
really kick her out like that.
No, I'm not going to kick her out. Depends on the situation. Obviously, if it's just, debates about bills and blah, blah,
Wait.
blah, we can come to a consensus.
Wait
You
a
know what I'm
minute. Is it considered common law if her name is not on the on?
It doesn't
It doesn't matter. If
Doesn't
you guys
matter
live
if
together
you're-
for
if
X
you're
amount of
living
time, you're
together,
common law.
yeah.
I think it's
Legally, you're
a
together.
consecutive amount of time you
I think it's
living
like
together.
6
Like
months.
six months.
6
to a
months,
year.
yeah.
Yeah.
6 months to a year. After 6
But
months
it's
to a
it's
year,
not
you're
legal in Canada, but in the States it's a
no,
little
no,
bit
it's
different.
No, I think
no,
here
it's
too.
legal in
Here
Canada,
too.
fam.
You think so?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
I
searched
think
it. It's
here
legal in Canada, fam. Common law.
Yeah.
But I think it might be longer. But I do want to hear Andy's perspective.
Could be,
though.
could be. Maybe a year, maybe
So
2 years.
let's
Who knows?
let's
So-
get let's
Maybe
get
2 years.
Andy's
I think
perspective.
it's 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah,
I
you think it might be 2 years? Okay,
No, I
Maybe
don't
it
think
might
it's-
be 2 years.
I don't think it's that long though.
Okay,
We
what
might-
about you, Andy? What do you
You wanna
think?
bet?
Maybe Google it.
You want to
Don't
bet?
kill me. No. Let's just make sure Andy gets an opportunity. Go
so,
ahead, Andy.
I don't have that experience,
Yeah.
right? I don't know what it would be like.
Mm.
All I know is from maybe not from when I was young, but maybe from when I was early 20s, around that age, around there. I was told, don't do it. So, and this is coming from people that,
Family.
have been around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not just family, but also friends.
Friends, yeah,
that
100%.
have been in that situation. And, I can't think of off the top of my head, like what the reason was. Like, in the moment when I heard the reasoning, I was just kind of like, I didn't really think it was a big
Yeah.
deal, but
No, for
whatever
sure.
the reason was. But, I can't say from experience, right?
You're right.
And, going back to what we were saying, that whole situation, it's like you move someone in and then, if things don't work out, that's kind of my whole thought process with it. But, I
Yeah.
can't really say for sure whether it's good or whether it's bad just because I don't know. I just know from what others that have that experience have said to me, you know what I mean?
So
True.
you're in a relationship right now, right?
Yeah, I'm in a relationship.
So how soon before you decide, you know what, I want to move in with this person?
Sticky.
I don't know because I feel like at that point, by the time before I even get to that point, I feel like I would have that marriage question on my head, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
so you'd be
Before
thinking
getting
that
into
you
the
would want to
relationship.
marry her before
Yeah,
you
because, like,
decide to move in?
Yeah, because I feel like what you were going back to what you were saying about dishes thing for as an example.
Exactly. The dishes I want to
Yeah,
clean
as an
as soon as
example.
food is made. Blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah. For example, if she had a certain habit that I
Yeah.
didn't agree with or I
For
didn't
sure.
like, it's kind of like let's sit down, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's come to an agreement.
Consensus.
Because
For sure.
yeah, because I feel like at the end of the day, there's always gonna be like certain disagreements and
For
certain
sure.
things you're gonna
And
have.
everything.
But the
Yeah.
question is, Andy, how soon would you decide that, you know what, like I want to move in with this person? Like, was it 1 year into your relationship, 2 years, 3 years? So you're 28 now.
Yeah, I
So
would
you're-
say
you're ready.
maybe
At that age where you're ready.
I would say at least maybe close to a year.
Close
Around
to
a
a
year.
year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like
Not longer, eh?
not long. Well, I mean like I feel like I would consider it more if it hit a year. You know what I
Okay,
mean? Like,
okay.
okay,
So
yeah,
if
yeah.
it was a
You know what I mean?
serious relationship
Okay,
for
Yeah,
a year,
yeah,
true,
because like I
you
feel
may
like
be
after a
considering
year,
it.
it's like
Okay,
you've seen,
okay.
you went through different
I think
seasons.
it's enough
different
time to vet a
experiences.
girl.
Yeah. To kind of
but
like,
at least a year.
you know,
I want to say.
kind of like see what she's like really about. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
Yeah.
the
You
way
went
she
through.
acts,
You went through a couple
all the
fights.
trials and errors. You know,
Yeah, no, you went through a couple
fights.
fights.
You went through a couple
Yeah,
fights.
bro. Great point. Still.
couple of honeymoon phases, couple of fights. You
Yeah.
know, couple of this,
Yeah.
couple
I
of that.
think,
Yeah,
I think
for
the
sure.
the most important is the fights. Once you fought a couple times, you're like,
Oh,
okay,
bro,
can
the-
I continue fighting?
But the fights never stop. The fights never
But
stop.
that's why
But,
once you fought,
they
you
get
know.
easier to manage, you know,
'Cause you
as-
know
as
how they
get to
act, you know how
the
they act,
person.
exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
All right, let's
True.
get Chris's perspective on this. So, Chris, do you remember the question?
Yeah, I remember the question.
Go for
I
it.
think you should get married before you move in with each other. To be honest,
Oh,
like
Love this.
Damn.
And you're 24 and you think that way. Why do you think that way as a 24-year-old?
what have you seen?
it's because it's just like, I don't even know. Like, if you just want to be together, right, and you run into simple, like, you run into problem,
Yeah.
and then you run into problems, like you guys are gonna be more inclined to stay, you know.
Yeah,
Exactly.
True.
That's
When you're
kind of my
married.
thought about
And
it.
if you're
Because you're married now, yeah. You
And
don't want
speaking
to.
as somebody who's actually married,
Yeah.
it helps keep you together.
It does,
I'm telling
it does,
you, when
it
you
does,
have
it
a
does.
fight.
No, he's right. He's right.
Right? Because
It's true.
to be honest, if you want to, divorce, you have to go through a lot of stuff.
A lot of process, a lot of
It's
steps,
true.
fam.
And there's a reason for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They want to keep you together.
And the thing is that if you're not married, there's always someone that's always going to be more willing to kick you out the door.
For sure.
When
Yeah.
there's problems occur, So I think marriage just sticks people
Yeah.
together.
So you would wait till you're married before you moved in with your girl.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait, but I'd say I'm okay with living with my girl before because we've been together for so long.
True,
right?
true,
So
true,
I
true.
know her.
Yeah.
So I know that if we run into problems, we can easily just talk about
Okay,
it.
so for you, it's more so experience, like you know her, so it's a
It's-
little
yeah, for
situational.
me,
What you mean for
Yeah,
just
that's a
generally?
unique situation
For me,
for sure.
So you say generally it's better.
Generally, I think it's better you
Yeah,
should just
yeah.
wait till marriage.
But
Yeah, I
in your
agree.
I
situation,
agree.
because you've been together for so long,
I agree.
it's fine if you guys
But
moved
he's
in
had time to
together.
vet the girl.
Yeah,
He's-
yeah.
He spends
To see
time. I'm
what
sure
she's
she
really
sleeps
about.
over and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
she
you know,
sees the family
you
and
know
shit.
her.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Cool. Cool. All right. So we're gonna go ahead with the next question. Are you guys ready?
Been
Sir.
ready.
All right. So, what are your thoughts on Andrew Tate? Should he be freed? I'm gonna start first. I actually love Top G. I think he is a great example for men in 2023. I think that he exemplifies the standard masculine behaviors that most men don't get to see anymore because we're living in a different generation where we're told that masculinity is toxic. But what is there to hate about Andrew Tate? He is well spoken. He's rich. He's got Bugattis.
Different
you
colors.
know, and different colors, you know. And he treats women with respect, which a lot of people seem to have this negative perception of Andrew Tate and how he treats women. But I've never heard Andrew Tate say anything negative about women. You know, he is a traditional man, and I think that he demonstrates through his lifestyle and the things that he says that being a traditional man is important and that it is valued. And most men, I wouldn't say most men, but some men nowadays prefer to be more on the traditional side. We're expected to be traditional.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
we're expected to hold the door open, protect our women, and provide for our women.
Yeah.
So, you know, Andrew Tate just tells men to do that.
Yeah,
and
literally.
he's hated on the internet.
Yeah.
And what's going on right now with his court case? I'm not sure how much you guys are following the tea on Andrew Tate,
A little bit.
100%.
but I've been following it because
Yeah.
I'm a fan
Yeah.
of his work, and I think it is unjust. I think that it's unfair that they could do that to him without any actual evidence that he has
Yeah.
done anything wrong, and it says a lot about the way that the world is, and a lot about what we as men can see the world really not care about justice, not
Yeah.
care about a person's life, and their
Livelihood.
livelihood, their lifestyle, and they can just throw him in jail without any evidence just because of how popular he is, just
Yeah.
because he's got money. And you would think he's got millions. So he should be able to
Oh.
get free and pay for
Yeah.
the top lawyers, but it just goes to show you the corruption that's going on there in
100%, yeah.
Romania. So, if Andrew Tate ever sees this, Andrew, I really hope that you get out of jail one day, and I hope to one day meet you. And thank you for being an inspiration for young men of today.
100%.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Andrew Tate, Solis?
Honestly, in the beginning, I've had some mixed reviews about him because I used to watch the podcasts about masculinity and all that extra stuff about just the aggressiveness. But the more you watch it as a man, the more you understand who you are as a man, right? And what you have to bring to the table as a man, right? Because you as an alpha dominant male have to provide, have to protect, have to give, have to do all that stuff to be labeled as an alpha, a male, right? In a wolf pack.
All right, Andy, we're going to go ahead and get you to answer next. So what are your thoughts on Andrew Tate? Should he be freed?
Well, yeah. First of all, I agree with you with the whole false allegations thing because from what I've seen from evidence and what you've said, if they truly had that evidence, I feel like he should have been in jail a long time ago. And from witnesses and things like that, everything that I've seen out there, it kind of seems like there's a certain narrative that's trying to be painted. But I will say from my experiences from when I first seen him, the first time I seen a clip of him, it was like a short form content, right? And I was like, damn, this guy's kind of crazy. Because, I feel like if you see small clips, it's easy to take something out of context, right?
Sure.
So I'm kind of a podcast guy myself, so I like to listen to podcasts. So I took the time to really listen to the full, the analogy that he had to say or whatever.
The long form
and
content.
the long form content, yeah. And I definitely saw that he was making some valid points, right? And the more I listened to him, obviously I feel like I never really 100% agree with any person. Maybe even if I think you're saying something real, I never agree 100% with anyone because, we all have our own opinions. That's what makes us different and human. But I definitely agree with, I want to say 90% of the things, 90 to 95% of the things he says. And I don't think right now in our society the problem is, toxic masculinity, as they say. I believe the problem is, the opposite of that. It's weak men. Because, if you're being a strong man, you're not doing a lot of the things that people think, being toxic and masculine does, right? Because in reality, if you're a strong man, you're going to want to provide for others. You want to take care of others. You're not going to want to see injustices. You're going to want to stand up for, the weaker, whatever. If someone's being stepped down on, you're not going to want to stand for that, right? And I think that's not only beneficial for, let's say, the immediate people around you, but society as a whole. And I also think it's the best thing for families, which is like, the backbone of society. You know what I mean? I definitely believe that the reason why a lot of nations have risen up and been successful is because of families, right? Strong families, two-parent households, that type of thing. So I definitely agree with a lot of what he has to say.
All right. Chris, what do you think?
I think the messages he tries to spread to people, like it resonates with like a lot of men. I think men need like an outlet or someone speaking or telling them this is how you be a man. Like a lot of male content. A lot of male content is usually scrutinized because of toxic masculinity, but I think masculinity is needed. Like it's needed
For sure.
right? So I as far as him being free, I don't. If he did it, and he deserves to be locked up. But of course, he's been in there without evidence since
3 months.
3 months, right?
3 months?
Yeah, it's going on 3 months now.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think he should be free until proven guilty at this point.
True.
Right?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
He should definitely be free.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
Actually, with the Romanian law, they can only hold you for 3 months consecutively without any trial or evidence brought up to the court without freeing you. So this is the last time that they can actually extend his detention
So they have
without
to free him.
bringing him to trial. So this is their last attempt
Yeah,
to
they have 30
try to
days.
gain anything.
So unless
On
they
him.
have something concrete,
They don't
have
have
to
anything
go.
on him.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for this great conversation tonight. We're going to wrap up the show. So please tell the people some final words before we wrap up.
Thank you so much for having us here. I actually genuinely appreciate it. It's an amazing time, Evan. Appreciate you having us here.
Awesome.
yeah, man, it's always great to be here with the homies, having some great conversation. Hopefully we could do it again soon time.
For sure.
thanks, Evan, for bringing me here. I appreciate to be here to have this conversation. I just want to say I appreciate for everybody that watches this as well. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, if you want to support the podcast, please take an opportunity to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, as well as to follow the podcast on all the podcast streaming websites that are out there. Remember that it is the R Asylum podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this show, and we'll see you again on the next episode.